If you are easy to replace, well, you're going to struggle to rise.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Because in today's world, being good is, it's really no longer enough. You can be incredibly hardworking, highly intelligent, even super talented, and you can still just remain completely invisible.
Right, which is so frustrating for people to realize.
It is. And the reason why? It's because you are replaceable. Welcome to another deep dive, everyone. I'm your host, and I'm super excited to unpack this one today.
Thanks for having me back. This is a topic I think a lot of people really need to hear right now.
Yeah, for sure. So today's deep dive is heavily inspired by the teachings of Bruce Lee, specifically this philosophy of become rare, become rich. And there's this really powerful idea often associated with him, which is the successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus.
It's such a great quote. And what's fascinating here is the deeper truth behind it. The objective is not actually to be better than everyone else.
Right.
The goal is to become so uniquely valuable that comparison just becomes entirely irrelevant.
Which is a huge paradigm shift. So today we are going to explore the hidden trap of replaceability, the surprising neuroscience behind why we fall into it, and then we're going to walk through a really actionable 5-step roadmap to becoming genuinely rare.
Because that rarity is what ultimately makes you rich,
yeah.
Right? And I mean, rich in money, but also respect and freedom.
Exactly. All right, so let's jump right into part 1, the trap of being replaceable. Before we figure out how to become rare, we have to understand why the modern world is essentially designed to make us all, copies of copies.
Yeah, let's be brutally honest here. The modern system actively rewards sameness.
Oh, completely.
It's like same degrees, same skills, same thinking, same morning routines. You just become a copy of a copy, like you said. In psychology, we call this social conditioning, where you just unconsciously follow the herd because it feels safe.
Right, but the paradox there is that the more you try to fit in, the more forgettable you become. I mean, think about it like this. If 1,000 people can do exactly what you do, why on earth should the world pick you?
They won't. They'll just pick whoever is cheapest.
Exactly. And I was thinking about this, and I came up with this analogy. It's like human behavior operates on the default factory settings of a smartphone.
Oh, I like that. How so?
Well, when you get a new phone, the default settings are designed for basic safety and battery saving, right? Not high performance. It dims the screen. It restricts background apps. It's just doing the bare minimum to stay alive. And I feel like that's what we do. But I have to ask, is this just like laziness on our part, or is there something deeper happening in our brains?
That's a great question, and it's definitely not just laziness. There's a deeply biological root to this problem, specifically located in the basal ganglia.
The basal ganglia. Okay, break that down for us.
So this is basically the brain's habit center. Your brain is hardwired for efficiency and familiarity because thinking burns calories. So the basal ganglia pushes you to avoid risk, follow established patterns, and just stay firmly in your comfort zone.
Wow, so it's literally trying to save energy.
Exactly. It's actively suppressing deviation to keep you safe. So to anyone listening who feels stuck being average, it's not a personal failure. It is literally just your brain trying to protect you.
But the cost of that protection is mediocrity.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Social conditioning makes us follow the herd to feel safe, but fitting in is a career death sentence in a knowledge economy.
Man, that's heavy. But it makes so much sense. So since our biology naturally pulls us toward this really crowded, safe middle, how do we force a shift? How do we actually create value?
That brings us to the hard rules of economics. And it's actually pretty simple. Scarcity equals value.
Right, like gold or diamonds.
Exactly. Gold is highly valuable precisely because it's rare. Diamonds are expensive because they are limited. Now, you have to take that exact same economic principle and apply it to yourself.
Okay, so how do I become gold?
By developing rare skills, rare mindsets, and rare perspectives. That is the exact mechanism that makes a person irreplaceable. If your skills are incredibly common, your value drops. If they are scarce, your value skyrockets.
Here's where it gets really interesting to me, because this isn't just modern economic theory. This echoes ancient wisdom. Our source material points to the Tao Te Ching, which says, let me find the exact quote. No, yeah. When you are content to be simply yourself and don't compare or compete, everybody will respect you.
It's brilliant. And yet, most people do the exact opposite of that.
Oh, totally.
They chase fleeting trends instead of seeking their own fundamental truth. They see what everyone else is doing on social media or in their industry, and they rush to copy it.
Which just makes them another copy.
Right. They're artificially increasing the supply of that exact skill, which drives the value down to zero.
So we've established why being rare is absolutely essential. Now we need to pivot to the how. Because I know you listening right now are probably thinking, okay, great, I need to be rare, but what do I actually do tomorrow morning?
Yeah, we definitely need practical application.
So let's walk through this 5-step roadmap from the sources to actually becoming rare. Step 1 is stack uncommon skills.
This is a game changer. It's called skill stacking. The idea is don't just try to master one single thing, because being the absolute best in the world at one thing is almost impossible.
Right, it's super crowded at the top.
Exactly. Instead, you combine multiple rare skills. For example, maybe you're pretty good at communication and you also study psychology and you understand technology.
Individually, those are common.
But combining them.
Yeah.
Communication plus psychology plus technology. That is a wildly powerful, rare combination. Naval Ravikant actually has a great quote on this. He says, "Specific knowledge is what makes you irreplaceable."
Yeah, I love that. You're basically building a customized moat around your career, which leads right into step 2, develop original thinking. Most people, we just consume, right? We scroll, we read, we watch.
Yeah, it's a passive existence. But rare people create. You have to ask yourself daily, what do I actually think about this? Can I challenge the norm here?
The text actually drops a really heavy quote from the philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche here. He said, "You must become who you are."
Which is such a profound statement.
Yeah.
It means challenging the norms rather than just accepting whatever societal programming you were handed.
Yeah.
You have to actively decide who you are, not just accept who society programmed you to be.
And doing that is genuinely uncomfortable. Which brings us perfectly to step 3, embrace discomfort, or getting into the growth zone.
This is where most people tap out.
Oh, 100%. Because I want to draw a hard line for you listening right now. Comfort equals common. Discomfort equals rare. It is that simple.
It really is. Every single time you avoid discomfort, you actively choose to stay replaceable. You are literally voting to be average.
So you have to challenge yourself directly. You have to speak up when it's scary. You have to try that new project when you know you might fail. Stand out when it would be so much easier to just hide in the back of the meeting.
Because surviving that discomfort is what actually rewires the basal ganglia we talked about earlier. It teaches your brain that standing out won't kill you.
That's such a good connection. Okay, step 4, build a unique identity. And this brings Bruce Lee back into the narrative.
Yeah, Bruce Lee is the perfect example of this. He didn't just pick a traditional martial art and follow it blindly. He created an entirely new philosophy called Jeet Kune Do.
Right, the way of the intercepting fists.
Exactly. It wasn't about tradition or imitating a master. It was about pure creation. He took what worked for his specific body and mind and discarded the rest.
He stripped away all the fluff.
Right. And you have to do the same thing with your professional identity. You have to ask yourself, what makes me different? What is my unique voice? Because your identity is your ultimate brand.
Nobody can compete with you on being you. Which takes us to the final step. Step 5, solve bigger problems. This is where it all translates to actual success.
Yeah, because the size of your success is directly equal to the size of the problems you solve.
If you solve small, really common problems,
You stay common. You get paid like you're common, and you get treated like you're common. But if you start hunting down the deep, painful, high-demand problems, that is when you become incredibly valuable.
because nobody else wants to touch those problems. They're too risky.
Exactly. But you have your uncommon skill stack and your original thinking to tackle them.
Okay, so that's the 5-step external roadmap. But I want to play devil's advocate for a second, because what does all this mean if I just go out, learn a bunch of skills, tackle big problems, but internally I still feel totally insecure? Like I'm still just waiting for my boss to tell me I did a good job.
Yeah, that is a fatal flaw for a lot of high achievers. All these external skills are basically useless without a fundamental inner transformation.
So how do we fix the inside?
The sources introduce this really powerful Buddhist concept of non-attachment. To truly become rare, you have to let go of validation addiction.
Oh man, validation addiction, that is everywhere.
It's an epidemic. We are so hooked on likes, praise, and external metrics, but you have to stop fearing judgment and completely detach from comparison.
So I can't care what people think of my rare skills.
Right. You don't rise by chasing approval from the crowd. You rise by mastering yourself. Your internal compass has to be stronger than the external noise.
I love that. And honestly, we need that internal strength because let's be real for a second. Let's do a little reality check. If Google or some AI algorithm can replace your hard skills in about 5 seconds, you might need a serious human upgrade.
Yeah, it's funny, but it's terrifyingly true. You cannot compete with machines on efficiency anymore. It's a losing battle.
They will always be faster.
Always. So you have to develop the traits that machines fundamentally cannot replicate.
Like what? What is safe from the machines?
Things like deep creativity, emotional intelligence, and actual wisdom. A machine can process data, but it cannot read the room during a tense negotiation. It doesn't have the emotional nuance or the life experience to offer real wisdom.
Right. It doesn't know what it feels like to fail or to be afraid or to take a leap of faith.
Exactly. So your humanity, your messy, emotional, creative human experience is actually your ultimate scarcity.
That is, wow, that just reframes everything about AI anxiety.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. So to synthesize this entire deep dive for you listening, the bottom line is that average is incredibly crowded, but rare is highly rewarded.
And remember, you don't have to be perfect.
No, not at all. You just have to be different in a deeply meaningful way, because in a world that is just entirely full of copies, the original always, always wins.
Absolutely. The source material ends with this really powerful final line that I think sums it all up. Don't aim to be the best. Aim to be the only.
Aim to be the only. I mean, that is just incredible. But before we wrap up, if this deep dive shifted your perspective today, if you found value in this, please hit that like button, share this video, and follow us so you can keep improving 1% daily.
And drop a comment below. Just type, I choose to be rare, if you are genuinely ready to level up.
Yes, commit to it in the comments. And don't forget, we have a link in the description where you can download some amazing life-changing ebooks for free. You do not want to miss those.
They're fantastic resources for actually applying this stuff.
For sure. So, to leave you with one final provocative thought to mull over on your own, if you had to drop one common skill or habit today to make room for a rare one, what would it be?
That's a tough question.
Right. Like, take a really hard look at your daily routine this week. How much of your current identity is truly yours, and how much is just your basal ganglia trying to keep you safely, comfortably average? Think about it. We'll see you on the next deep dive.